Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Theme Parks, Roller Coasters, and More. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past, in that in this video we're not going to be going into a ride specific layout and the specific ride experience. Instead, today we are going to be looking at my top 10 bucket list coasters for the United States. Before we get started with the top 10, here are some honorable mentions. New Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas. Coaster at P&E Playland. And Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Now let's move on to the top 10. Coming in at the number 10 spot is West Coast Racers at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'm a sucker for launch coasters, my favorite being Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Studios Florida. Being built by the same manufacturer as Mummy, Premier Rides, West Coast Racers looks to be a faster, inverting, dueling, and outdoor version of Revenge of the Mummy. West Coast Racers looks to have amazing airtime and hang time, and the dueling aspect looks incredible. At number 9, I have Accelerator, the Intimate Accelerator coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. From what I hear, Accelerator is one of the most intense launch coasters in the US. Judging by the footage, it's clear to see why. The launch out of the station appears to be gut-busting. The rest of the layout looks to be nothing special, but that launch alone is enough to put this on my bucket list. At the number 8 spot, I have Lightning Rod, the RMC Launch Topper Track wooden coaster at Dollywood. Lightning Rod looks to be an airtime-packed, fast-paced ride. The launch looks fun, and the layout appears to be immensely intense. From the wave turn to the quad down, Lightning Rod is a coaster I need to get to. Coming in at number 7 is Mystic Timbers, located at Kings Island. This is most likely the most unique layout created by GCI. Most GCI coasters feature a twister layout focused on laterals. However, Mystic Timbers is focused on airtime. Mystic Timbers features an out-and-back layout and appears to have some of the greatest ejector airtime out of any other GCI. The shed, from what I hear, isn't really impressive, but that alone can't take this coaster off my list. Next, at my number 6 spot is Intimidator 305, the Intimate Giga coaster located at King's Dominion. For me, the main draw of this coaster is its rapid transitions. The S-curves look insane, and I'll bet I'll gray out on the bottom of the first drop. From what I hear, the first turn after the drop is one of the most intense elements on any coaster. I'm sure that once I get this credit, it will be in my top 5 for sure. At my number 5 spot is Apocalypse, the GCI Woody at Six Flags Magic Mountain. By the looks of the POVs, this coaster looks to have some of the best lateral forces out there. Apocalypse has a strong layout with great looking laterals and airtime, but not as much as coasters higher on this list, which is why Apocalypse is at number 5. Coming in at the number 4 spot is X2, the Aerodynamics 4th Dimension coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain. One word: positives. The positive G-forces on this, from what I have heard, are insane. From the bottom of the first drop to the Raven turns. Throwing in the rotating seats, X2 must be one of the best coasters around. However, I do hear that the outside seats provide a rough ride, so I'll be sure to take an inside seat for my first ride. At the number 3 spot is El Toro, the Intimate prefabricated wooden coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. If there's one thing I'm looking forward to on this ride, it's that first drop. Hopefully I'll get the back row so I can experience the ride at its full potential. The airtime looks phenomenal, and the ride overall looks so intense. Next, at the number 2 spot, is Steel Vengeance, the RMC Hyper Hybrid located at Cedar Point. The first thing I want to highlight is that first outer banked airtime hill. Not the top hat immediately after the speed hill, but the third airtime moment. That element, it just looks so insane. It's probably going to be the best airtime moment out of the ride. Next, I want to highlight the drop off the mid-course. If the brakes are turned off, that drop is going to be full of ejector airtime. Finally is the finale through the structure. Ejector after ejector after ejector. This coaster definitely has a chance of being my number 1 after I ride it. Finally, at the number 1 spot is Fury 325, the B&M Giga coaster located at Carowinds. I really can't pinpoint an exact reason why Fury is number 1. It's a mixture of the height, the speed, the airtime, and the intensity that it appears to give. Fury to me is a perfectly well-rounded coaster, even though it doesn't feature any inversions. There's no such thing as a perfect coaster, but from what I've seen and heard, Fury is as close as you can get. So there's my bucket list for the United States. Let me know what you think in the comments. Special thanks to Airtime Thrills, Capital Coasters, and InsaneCoasterJunkie for providing the footage used in this video. Thank you all for watching today's episode. If you have an idea for a future video, leave it in the comments. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.